to an in-depth exploration of a pivotal historical event that unfolded during the 14th century. This cataclysmic episode, often referred to by medieval contemporaries as the Great Pestilence, the Great Plague, or the Great Mortality, has left an indelible mark on the annals of human history. In the ominous month of October 1347, a ship sailed into Messina, Sicily, not just carrying sailors but also harboring a grim passenger, the bubonic plague carrying rats. Reports from Asia suggested a staggering death toll of 20 million, an estimate that likely erred on the side of conservatism, given Asia's more substantial population. Current estimations, however, paint a bleak picture, asserting that no fewer than 25 million lives were lost in Europe from 1347 to 1352. This alarming figure accounts for almost 40% of the population, with some estimations even reaching 60%. Cities such as Paris and Florence bore the brunt of this calamity, experiencing devastating losses that reshaped the trajectory of European history. The Black Death cast a long shadow, requiring a staggering 150 years for Europe's population to recuperate. Amidst the pervasive horror, a peculiar yet haunting defense mechanism emerged: the plague doctor costume. This macabre ensemble included an ankle-length overcoat, a bird-like beak mask filled with fragrant substances, gloves, and boots. The mask, equipped with glass openings for the eyes, was secured to the doctor's nose, featuring small nose holes, effectively functioning as a primitive respirator. The beak, capable of holding dried flowers, herbs, spices, or a vinegar sponge, served a dual purpose: to counteract the foul smells believed to be the principal cause of the disease, and to prevent doctors from succumbing to the infection. The attire was completed with a wide-brimmed leather hat, an unmistakable indication of the doctor's profession. Wooden canes, wielded by these doctors, served the dual purpose of pointing out areas needing attention and facilitating the examination of patients without direct physical contact. The Black Death manifested in three formidable forms, each inflicting a myriad of distressing symptoms upon the unfortunate souls who fell victim to its grip. Bubonic plague. This most common form induced painful lymph node swellings, known as buboes, primarily around the base of the neck, in the armpits, and groin. These buboes oozed pus and bled, causing extensive damage to the skin and underlying tissue until the afflicted were covered in dark blotches. Victims typically succumbed within 4 to 7 days post-infection. The bubonic plague exhibited a mortality rate ranging from 30 to 75%, with symptoms encompassing fever, 38-41 degrees Celsius or 101-105 degree Fahrenheit, headaches, painful aching joints, nausea, vomiting, and a pervasive sense of malaise. 4 out of 5 individuals contracting the bubonic plague met their demise within a mere 8 days. Pneumonic plague, an airborne variant. The pneumonic plague struck the lungs before spreading to the rest of the body. It ranked as the second most commonly observed form during the Black Death, boasting a mortality rate ranging from 90 to 95%. Septicemic plague. This form, a deadly manifestation of blood poisoning, was primarily contracted through the bite of an infected insect. Septicemic plague led to disseminated intravascular coagulation and was nearly always fatal, boasting a mortality rate of 99 to 100% during medieval times. It stood as the rarest of the 3 plague varieties. The insidious spread of the bubonic plague hinged upon the intricate relationship between 2 rodent populations, one resistant, acting as hosts, and the other lacking resistance. When the latter population succumbed, fleas transitioned to alternative hosts, including humans, creating a devastating human epidemic. The black rat, initially deemed the carrier of plague-infected fleas during the Black Death, was identified as the original culprit. The bacterium responsible for the Black Death, Yersinia pestis, commonly endemic in only a few rodent species, usually transmitted zoonotically by the rat flea. Remarkably, brown rats could also suffer from plague, extending the range of potential carriers to include non-rodent species such as dogs, cats, and even humans. The profound impact of the Black Death extended beyond the physical toll to encompass tragic persecutions. The Nuremberg Chronicle, a historical document, recounts the burning of Jews during the Black Death. Falsely perceived as less susceptible to the plague due to their meticulous hygiene practices, Jews faced unfounded accusations of well poisoning, believed to be the source of the plague. In 1337, at Deckendorf on the Danube in Bavaria, Jews were accused of stabbing the Holy Sacrament, throwing it into a hot oven, and striking it with hammers, leading to their condemnation to death. Subsequently, in 1348, all Jews in Germany were burned, having confessed to poisoning wells. The Chronicle vividly paints a picture of locusts and vermin passing through the sky, devastating vegetation and fruits. This cataclysmic event, beginning in 1348 and lasting for 3 years, originated in India and spread across the globe, ravaging Italy, France, Germany, Hungary, and even reaching England. The mortality rate was staggering, with barely 10 persons out of every 1,000 surviving. In some regions, only about 1/3 of the population managed to escape the merciless grip of the pestilence. Tragically, the Chronicle suggests that Jews may have been wrongfully scapegoated for exacerbating the calamity by poisoning wells. Treatment. Amidst the chaos and desperation, medieval society sought solace in various cures and preventive measures, ranging from the superstitious to the seemingly bizarre. Divine scourge. Some perceived the plague as a scourge from God for evil deeds, recommending self-flagellation with a whip as a form of divine punishment, thus sparing individuals from the scourge of the plague. Bathing rituals. Contrary to common fears, bathing was encouraged with vinegar and rose water, or alternatively, in one's own urine. This peculiar practice demonstrated the extent of desperation and limited understanding surrounding the transmission of the plague. Ingesting pus. In a macabre turn of events, the pus from lanced buboes was recommended for ingestion, illustrating the extreme measures people were willing to undertake in their quest for a remedy. Quarantine origins. The concept of quarantine, derived from the Latin word for 40, was introduced in Venice in 1348, urging the isolation of individuals for a period of 40 days. Poultry-based treatment. Placing a live hen close to the swellings to draw out the pestilence was suggested, followed by the ingestion of a glass of one's own urine twice a day. These unconventional methods reflected a blend of folklore and desperation. Precious substance consumption. Grind up an emerald and drink it in wine. Ingest snakeskin, bone from the heart of a stag, Armenian clay, precious metals, aloe, myrrh, and saffron. These substances were believed to possess mystical healing properties. Eggshell concoction. Roasting the shells of newly laid eggs, grinding them to a powder, and combining them with marigold flowers and treacle to be consumed in warm beer every morning and night showcase the wide array of untested remedies. As we delve into this historical journey, it is essential to acknowledge the limitations of knowledge during this era and the desperation that fueled these unconventional practices. In concluding our exploration of the Black Death, we express gratitude for your engagement in unraveling the complexities of this profound historical event. If you found this journey through time enlightening, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe How They Lived as we uncover more mysteries from our shared past. Until our next encounter, may the lessons of history guide us towards a more enlightened future.